All right, here we go with 6th grade Excel, lesson number 42. We're going to be looking at a very unusual kind of word problem today. This is where they give you the answer and you have to figure out what the question is. Let's take a look at our first problem here. Number 1 says Jack earns $7 per hour. Last week he worked for 2 hours. The answer is 14. What is the question? So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the different questions and see which one would produce the answer of 14. Notice we have the numbers 7 and 2. Okay, how much money did he earn last week? Well, if he worked for 2 hours last week at $7 for each of those hours, 7 times 2 is 14. So this one makes sense and that would be the correct answer, but let's take a look at B and C and see why those would not be correct. How much money does he earn an hour? $7. Well, yeah, $7 says he earns $7 per hour, not 14. Remember, the answer is 14, so that can't be it. How much did he earn for working 4 hours? Well, if you make $7 per hour, 4 times 7 is 28, and that is not 14. So again, you can see that choice A would be the correct answer. All right, pause the video, try number 2, and make sure you show your work of how you get the answer that they give you right here. Show how you get that, and then turn the video back on when you have the solution. Okay, so the question says, excuse me, Jordan rode the Ferris wheel 7 times and the roller coaster 9 times. The answer is 16. How many times did he go on the Ferris wheel? He went on the Ferris wheel 7 times. That's not going to be it. How many times did he go on the roller coaster? 9 times. How many total times did he go on a ride? 9 plus 7 equals 16. That is the correct answer. All right, now we're going to take a look at some estimation problems. Recently, 78 people each ran 19 laps of a track in a jogathon that raised money for a local hospital. The hospital received $1 for each lap. Which choice is the most reasonable for the amount of money that was raised for the hospital? So what we're going to do is we're going to round each one of these numbers. If there's 78 people each doing 19 laps, that's like 80 people doing 20 laps each, and we're going to multiply. Now we put down a placeholder for this 0 and do 80 times 2. 0 times 2 is 0. 8 times 2 is 16. Make sure that you put the right number of zeros, and then it makes sense here that they would raise $1,600 for those 80 people. That sounds about right. So notice the choices now. 1,500, 16,000, and 8,000. Now why do you think that they put 16,000 in there as one of the choices? You can see that if you added another 0 on, your answer would be 16,000. But 16,000 is nowhere near 1,600. 1,600 is much closer to 1,500, and so we'd pick A as the answer. 8,000, that's about half of that number, and so that one doesn't make sense either. So make sure you always show your work on these, and the show work must be, the numbers must be rounded because this is estimation, and you know it's estimation. Even without reading the problem, you can just look at this and say, wow, they're rounding these numbers because look at the answers. They all have a bunch of zeros on the end. All right, go ahead and pause the video, do number 4, then turn it back on for the solution. Kane figured out that his family was spending an average of $19 per day for food. Which choice is the most reasonable estimate how much the money family spends in a month? Okay, now some of you might be thinking, well, which month? Because there's different days in the different months. Well, it doesn't matter because you're going to round the number, and the approximate number of days in a month rounded with a 0 on the end is going to be 30. And then we want to round how much they spend per day for food. They spend $20 a day for 30 days. You can multiply that out, and we have that 0 for the placeholder. 0 times 3 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. So they spend about $600. And then you look at the 3 choices, and 600 is actually one of the answers, so you pick C. All right, thanks for watching.